Vakya Devyai Namo Namah, Om Saraswatyai Namo Namah, Om Angirasai Namo Namah, Om Kapilai Namo Namah, Om Gargai Namo Namah, Om Vedavyasai Namo Namah, Om Dharmai Namo Namah, Om Matra Sakyai Namo Namah, Om Radha Krishna Bhyam Namo Namah. My humble namaskars to this distinguished audience. We welcome you to this second course in this series, and we appreciate very much your active participation, your encouragement, your blessing. So let us look at the the first slide here, purpose and scope of this course. The first is discovery of forgotten, ignored, and hidden ideas and wisdom. Yogic union of separated, disjointed, and broken various fields of human living experience. Reintegrating the broken world of Karma Kand, Gyan Kand, Upasana Kand. Normally, these different fields have been separated out and broken away from the Sanatana Dharma's field. Unfortunately, sadly, with serious civilizational consequences. Re-establish the original unique universality of the various limbs of Sanatana Dharma tree of wisdom. I'm using the words very selectively with full understanding, commitment to my language and the ideas. So when I'm using the word limbs, I'm using the word tree of wisdom. Sanatana Dharma is a big tree, Aswa tree. It has various limbs, and when these limbs get separated widely apart, people sitting on each of the limbs get separated from the roots, which is a usual process of going through in this world. Then as we go along in appropriate places, I will also be doing some comparison and contrasting the ideas from the contemporary Western world. We will also talk about Dharma Kshetra, Adharma Kshetra, and mutual intersection. And we will be interpreting, articulating through practical and living practices as we go along. The first course was designed primarily to address the fundamental doctrines of the entire Sanatana Dharmic tradition. This topic is going to be more focused on some of the limbs, some of the branches of that eternal tree. So please bear with us. The most basic universal perennial questions are these. Existential reality of the cosmos. Existential reality of the cosmos. The Vedic wisdom has accepted the reality of the world and the cosmos. Asatyam cha pratistam cha jagadahurnishra. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, those who consider this existence as asatyam, unreal, I think in the deep darkness. Where does the cosmos come from? These are perennial questions. How does the cosmos come into existence? What is this cosmos, which is called the cosmography? How does it work? Cosmology. Is there the end of cosmos? How will this end, and what is the purpose or meaning behind the existence? These perennial questions have been raised for thousands of years in our Sanatana Dharmic traditions, as well as in other traditions like Abrahamic traditions. Then, existential reality of human beings. Who are we? Where do we come from? What is the purpose and meaning behind living? How should we conduct our living and why? What is the end point? So this is really the big picture of the cosmos as well as human beings, how we can center around these questions and try to answer those questions, and how they have been answered in Sanatana Dharmic tradition versus Abrahamic tradition. That's a fundamental difference has taken place. But this course is primarily designed and focusing on three perennial questions. What the purpose and meaning behind living, how to conduct our living and why, and what is the end point. As we go along, we will be able to reflect on these three bold ideas and how they can be effectively answered with multi-dimensional perspectives. So let's look at what is the living. The living is something like this: perpetual birth of humanity, karmic residue from past lives. So the present life is the emergence of new karma kshetra under the influence of past karmic residues, upbringing environment, social, educational, political environment, country of birth, and kala chakra. These are the five primary forces and fields that influence the individual's living and journey in this life through this world. So we have past karmic residues, and we have also freedom to make new field of karma. That's very important. First of all this wisdom got worth in the Bharat Bhumi. It was expanded, expounded, and the ancient rishis, sages, and saints, acharyas, Jnani and Vijnanis, they have given their understanding input through various scriptures and darshanas and interpretations. But this happened uniquely in the Bharati Bhumi. That's why the Vishnu Purana, Lord sings the glory of Bharati Bhumi. Gayanti Deva Kiligiti Dhanyastuti Bharati Bhumibhagi Swarga Pavargas Padamarga Bhuti Bhavanti Bhuya Pursa Suratvat. Even divine beings long for taking birth in the Bharati Bhumi. And taking birth in Bharati Bhumi, you have a potential. Every one of us has a potential to reach and to acquire, to earn the last stage of Devat. And beyond it, we call the moksha, and beyond it. So we will be discussing some of these wonderful ideas as we go along. So Bharat is the real Bhumi. This is originated from Mahi, Aditi, Saraswati, and Bharati. These are the four primary goddesses, guardians, and source. This is the Atharvaved. Not modern India. Nowadays, a lot of discussion is going on through newspapers and various YouTube presentation, India versus Bharat. The question is, Bharat can be understood, defined, and lived through the real Rashtriya Charitra, real identity. Do we have really? I'm not so sure. Of course, it's beginning to emerge, but only in the fields of economy and politics. But as the collective humanity, we are still very much behind, very much backward in realizing, articulating the pristine wisdom of ancient rishis. In search of, as we all know, I'm going to reconnect with our life's journey. I call this a life is a journey. And we are going to do this journey together through this course. And let's see what we get out of this journey, what kind of experience we will have, what kind of understanding we will have, what kind of enlightenment, if at all, we have. But the real situation at the ground is this. The journey is full of dichotomous aspect, experience of joy and sorrows, ups and downs, success and failure, beauty and ugliness, connectivity and disjointedness, love and hate, crime and war, good health and suffering and miseries, anxiety and depression, divine and demonic attributes, meaningful and meaningfulness, richness and poverty. The list goes on and on and on. This is what currently, for if we can recall and think through our own process of journey, it will all of us, more or almost all of us, experience these kind of contradictions and paradoxes going through this journey. And the final distillation, that's a certainty of the existential death, followed by rebirth, and cycle keeps repeating. That's why this word is called samsara. It means perpetual cycle of birth, living, death, rebirth, reliving, re-death. It goes on and on until unless we take a final exit from this trap of samsara. Living within the samsara, we can get out of the samsara. That's the paradox, wonderful, beautiful. As we go along, we will explore more on some of these themes. primary question, once we have this experience of life, paradoxical, contradictory experience of life, the primary question of great importance for all of us are these. Can this journey be positively creative, fulfilling, enriching, vibrant and joy, with joy and love, full of beauty, wonder, and mystery, despite the ever maladies? Can it be? Can this journey be designed or organized to acquire those karmas through mind, speech, and action that can elevate the human consciousness to the level of divine consciousness and beyond? Can this be done? Is it possible fundamentally, or it is not possible? What does it mean of enhancing the human consciousness to the level of divine consciousness? Can this journey lead humanity towards achieving the state of Ananda, Brahmananda, Atmanand, Rasanand, while going through life's primary engagement, personal life, family life, social life, leading finally to the state of disengagement and exit from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, in order to live as a transcendental being in the company of divine beings? These are the three important questions that we are looking for answers to. Those questions. The answer is yes. Bold yes, categorically yes. And how this can be answered? And this is all about the foundation practices of Lokasamgraha Yogadharma under the umbrella of Sanatan Dharma Yoga Kshetra. Yes, that's why we have taken this journey together, by identifying the field which is inclusive, Lokasamgraha Yogadharma Kshetra. Normally, it is not found together. Normally, either you have Lokasamgraha, or you have yoga, you have dharma, or you have kshetra. These separation or separated entities can only be united through yogic integration. So that's why the name Lokasamgraha has been expanded to incorporate Yoga, Dharma, and Kshetra. Actually, Lokasamgraha itself embodies within itself the field of wisdom involved and embodies within itself the Yoga, Dharma, and Kshetra. Specifically, this gives a roadmap as how to design, structure, organize our journey to become a Tirthayatra. In another language, how we can design, structure, organize our journey of this life, which is very complicated, full of lot of melodies, lot of conflict, lot of confusion, lot of ups and downs, lot of cries and joy. How can make this a Tirthayatra? To explore, enjoy, and transcend its limitations. Otherwise, my dear listener, is going to be Jail Yatra. And for lots of us, it's a Jail Yatra. And if you talk to a lot of our family, friends, and ask them the question that find out from your parents, grandparents, how towards the end of their life, how do you feel about this journey? And most of them will tell you, I've had enough. I don't want to live anymore. जीवन मेरा काला कागज, कागज ही रह गया. Toward the end of life, we will realize this, that how this journey could have ended up as a Tirth Yatra or Jail Yatra. If we are not taking care of the present situation and continuously monitoring and upgrading, updating, and moving towards with full conviction, commitment, this journey will end up certainly in Jail Yatra. This roadmap is universal guide to whole humanity, all inclusive, and which can provide a new visionary experience. How do we see and act towards our inner world and outer world, both together? That's the fundamental question, a big question. Inner world and outer world together. If we think about outer world only, or we think about inner world only, we are missing a lot of fundamental doctrines of the Sanatana Dharma. Inner world and outer world so intricately joined together, intricately connected together, intricately source of one ground, inner world and outer world. Whatever in this pinda is outside the Brahmanda, whatever in the Brahmand which is inside the pinda. We will share as we go along some of the latest ideas and finding of the contemporary sciences and their limitations and how they're getting back to this original wisdom. And this brings us these kind of questions and ideas and confusion, conflict, question mark, bring us to the beginning of this course, pragmatic, practical. The foundation was laid down to this course in the very first course. So let's begin our journey together. And I will request the audience, please enlarge your consciousness. Deepen your consciousness. And focus attention as much as you can with the commitment and conviction that this journey for me towards the end of this session is going to have even more questions, and some of these questions will be answered. The very first and central image of the Vedic Sanatana Dharma is yagna. Actually, its connotation is between ga and ja. Yagna is a Hindi, yajna, yagna, yajna. J and G to in between. And central image of the yagna is the Agni Devata. The first action at the aspect of the Lokasamgraha Yogadharma Kshetra this is the yagna, with the central image of Agni. This is where the yagna is the central image, the beginning of the Srishti. You might have seen such images, you might have participated in yagna, a miniature version, or what you call truncated version, and nowadays is for long time is called the Havan. You do Havan, you participate in Havan, and much of the audience, participants in this Havan or Yagna, including the priests who are performing the Yagna, lack the full understanding, complete understanding, what this Yagna is about, what actually being done through the rituals that we are performing in the yajna. That's a very significant observation that I have made throughout my life. I was totally bewildered. I was totally lost. I don't know what is going on and why it is going on the way it is going on. And that's where began my journey. Let's look at the original understanding and wisdom of the yajna. This yajna is the navel of the word Rig Veda. This is the center navel of the word. What do you mean by navel of the word? It means through yajna the srishti came about. Navel is the center. All power to our life through yajna. All power to our lungs through yajna. All power to our eyes through yajna. All powers to our ears through yajna. All powers to our back through yajna. All powers to yajna through yajna. Yajurveda. Satpat Brahman even goes in deeper. All this, whatever exists, is made to share in yajna. What a beauty, what a wonder. Our life is yajna, the srishti is yajna. Our body is yajna, our body is made of yoga. Our body is dharma, our body is yajna, our body yoga. It's a yogic body. And you might have seen this image. This is called the Agni Chain ritual arena. Northern altar, 10,800 bricks are used to lay down this Vedi. This was on a bigger scale through the sincere, committed efforts of Professor Frigistal. This was done in 1975, performed by Nambudri Brahmins from Kerala. Further in 1990, 2006, on a smaller scale, Agnistoma Somyagam, 2009, Athir Ratram, Yag, 2011. And this most ancient, uniquely profound tradition is almost vanished. We have no longer the priests and Brahmins who can perform these big yajnas with full understanding of the ideas and rituals with precision and power. Here is the illustration from Frigistal, Greek and Vedic geometry, Journal of Indian Philosophy. And here is the very, very important observation and the development. 3,000 years of algorithm rituals, emergence of AI from the computational space. This world that you see has a lot of mystery, lot of geometry, lot of mathematics, lot of computation, and including the foundation source of artificial intelligence. It's really a kind of all the hidden dimensions of Prakriti are being laid down through concrete hands, looking at the concrete eyes, performing the rituals so to achieve the divine consciousness and ultimate mystery of the existence. This is the here reference. Some of might question me, some of the audience. You are making it up. No, I'm not making it up. I'm going to speak Satyam Bruya, only Satyam Bruya. only Satyam Guru, as much as I could comprehend through my yogic experiences. This was published in 2019 by Professor Matthew Pesconelli. He's a professor in Germany. Agni Chain ritual, he went back to the Agni Chain ritual to look at the Sulb Sutra, composed around 800 BCE in India, to record a much more older oral tradition. Sulb Sutras teach the construction of altars of a specific geometry figure to secure gifts from the gods. It is said that Rishi Vital Spirit created 7 square-shaped Purusha, cosmic entities, that together compose a single body, and it was from this form the Prajapati emerged once again. While the process of Srishti involves the differentiation and separation of different entities in divine sphere, in human sphere, in natural spheres, you see a lot of diversity, a lot of plurality appears to be disconnected. And this was created by the Prajapati through his own differentiation, through his own dismemberment, through different organs. And this now has to, the fundamental notion is going to be how we can reconstruct the Prajapati body so that the Prajapati can re-emerge as a unified whole. Oh my goodness. This very idea is what the contemporary human experiences in the contemporary sciences are. That looking for unified whole. What is that? What is the mystery? It was this ritual construction that seers, our fathers, adopted. When the beginning, the yajna was first created, with mind's eye, I think I can see those who first performed this yajna. I know I can see those sadhyas, those yogis who first performed the yajna. Why did they do it? I could see and I can think. By means of yajna, the gods sacrificed the yajna. Those were the first dharma. Those mighty ones gained the height of heaven, where lived the ancient perfect will gods. Thus the yajna came to be here. It revealed itself. Please note here, dharma is yajna, yajna is dharma. It is here very much. Those were the first dharma. So really, is our diluted understanding keep them separate? Then you will ask me why 3 terms are used: yajna, yoga, and dharma. Why 3 technical terms are applied to this worldview? Keep that question with us, and we will, the answers will come off of this journey. Yajna is a loom, various perspectives, various viewpoints looking at the entity yajna. Yajna is a loom with threads down on all sides, stretched by 101 sacred ritual. The fathers who have come this way weave the fabric. They sit by the loom singing, weave lengthwise, weave crosswise. You can also refer these fundamental ideas in Purusukta of Rigveda 1090. And this is what we have to be noting down in our manas and buddhi. Universe is like a woven cloth, a tapestry colorful. The loom the weaving, the weavers, threads, and fabric. A very powerful image, analogy par excellence. Used in many places, such as in Bhagavad Gita, human body is like a garment. Pasansi jivnani yatha vihaya. These several images emerge if you look at the entire Vedic corpus. From Vedas to contemporary world. Even very disciplined contemporary experiences come up, they have a different images come out of it. And here is the one fabric. This universe, cosmos, is one fabric, one cloth, woven by the rishis and the gods together. And this is the four important players: the loom, the weaving, the weavers, threads, and fabric. On each of these ideas, I may spend, probably a couple of hours on each of those ideas, which I'm not going to do because it may become too much for the audience. So Vedic question is, another set of questions are asked. Look at the homology. I ask you, what is the ultimate limit of the earth, which deals with the sight and sound? That question. I ask you, what is the center point of the universe? That deals with the kinesthesia and touch. I ask you, what is the semen of the cosmic horse, which are the senses, touch, taste, and smell? I ask you, what is the ultimate abode of language? That's the sound. Answers are given in Veda. This altar that we are making here, we have made here to perform the ritual, is the limit of the earth. This sacrifice is the navel of the universe. This soma is the semen of cosmic horse. This Brahman reciting singer poet is the center of language. The questions and the answers. The entire Vedic wisdom is full of questions and answers. Nowhere you will find the statement, follow blindly what I tell you. No such statements exist in the primary scriptures of the entire Vedic tradition. Always questions and answers. And these type of question answer always appear in every field of human knowledge. So what a wonder, what a beauty. The ancient tradition and contemporary tradition in sciences and other fields, how they come together. You call the same tree has grown to become contemporary world. What a beautiful science and art together through homology and corresponding between cosmos yet and altar. How we can, this vast cosmos, how we can see this cosmos, how we can look at this cosmos, how we can operate with this cosmos, how we can realize this cosmos by making a miniature cosmos, which is the Yagnavedi. Process is Yagnapas. The phala, what is the destination? What's the end result? Why we should do it? To understand the mystery of the existence, comprehend it, which is incomprehensible, and yet go beyond the mystery to see, to get situated as a divine being. What a wonder of beauty. Yogic mantra, the first one in the world of Sanatana Dharma. That's the first mantra was recited in the Rigveda 1.1.1. I Lord to Agni, the Purohit, the priest, the Devata, and Hotra, the chanter, the Ritvij, the performer, who brings all wealth and blessing. This is the position of Agni, Agni Dev, who are all combined together in this ritual of Agni, Yajna. Please ponder upon the Agni as Devata, as Purohit, Hotra, Ritvij, all in one. This is yogic personality. All in one. Just like nowadays, if you compare the smartphones, compare, 30, 40 years ago, every entity was different. Audio is different, video is different. They were different entities. Here, all have been integrated together. So the same integration process continue going on in this contemporary practical world as well. This is a Matra 24 Gayatri mantra, a measure, a Ganesh Shastra, a Chanda Shastra. Time continuous, containing peaks and valleys. That's why you see Agnimile Purohitam Yagyasya Deva Mritvajam. Sangeet is music and sound vibrations. Bhat, language structure. Ratna, all kinds of wealth, including Vidya. This is the Agni Devata, the very first one invoked. And if I had to look at each of the A through F, then probably I will have to spend, 3-4 hours on this aspect. But I'm giving you some flavor that how these things, how different aspects of the existence have come together, put together, recited together in this very first mantra. Then, again, the first appearance of the word dharma is in the Rigveda 112.7, 1.3.12. We offer prayers to Kavi Agni, full of divine effulgence, embodiment of Satya Dharma, and annihilator of suffering in this Ahimsa Yag. Kavi, Agni, Kavi, the two epithets. Agni is a Kavi. Kavi comes from Kudhatu. It means the Agni has a divine, total divine consciousness. And Agni knows how to bring that consciousness to the language of mantra. And what is the language of mantra? Sanskrit language. That's the perfect language, which is the really language of a human voice. No other language can compete with Sanskrit language. An embodiment of Satya Dharma. So Agni Devata is also embodiment of Satya Dharma. Here, Adidevik, Adhyatmik, Adibhautik Dharma Kshetra come together within the entity Agni Deva. Adibhautik Dharma Kshetra is what? Physical fire, heat energy, light energy, chemical properties, electromagnetic radiation, etc. Why did they choose? The rishis choose the Agni as the vehicle for going inward and outer world at the same time. Why did they choose? Let us look at the physical aspect of the Agni. Then second, word dharma appears in this 122.18 of Rigveda. This is the 4th century black stone with weapons of Bhagavan Vishnu. Unconquerable, the protector of all, the divine Vishnu with embodiment of all dharmas. take all the three strides. Remember, this appears again in one of the avatara, Trivikram avatar, King Bali and Bhagwan's Leela. 3 strides. All the 3. Adi Bhautik, Adhyatma, Adidev. And Dharmani Dhariyan, embodiment of all dharmas, source of all dharmas. And this term embodiment, Dhariyan, is a very important term to define dharma as we go along. This is not intellectual exercise. This is not a exercise of a mind or superficial exercise. No, you have to embody within yourself, just like blood and flesh. Now looks at the Agni Devata, celebrated 200 mantras in the Rig Veda. In fact, except 2 mandalas, Rig Veda start with the songs to Agni. So important. The most unifying force closely associated with Brahman. Agni is Brahman, Brahman is Agni. Able to travel between all realms, Bhur Bhuva Swaha. As we will see here, electromagnetic radiations, we will see here, hold on to it. Agni is Yagna. He is linked all the 3 realms of Vedic universe. Immortal Devatas separated the majestic pervading Agni into 3 forms: the Adibhautik form, Adhyatmic form, and Adidevic form. And placed the Agni, all devouring, is the place on the earth. The other among the rest of the 2 was placed in the sky in the form of Vidyut, and in the Dhyulok in form of sun. Just look at the unity between the sun and atmosphere and earth. Normally in the entire Western tradition, other tradition, only there is Swarg and Narak, or Bhum or Swarg, Prithvi and Swarg. No, we have 3 divisions, 3 aspects. Bhur Bhuva Swaha, Prithvi Antriksh, sun world. Agnidev is polymorphous, many forms, many attributes. Physical property pervades all the 3 realms: Prithvi Lok, Antarit Lok, Sun Lok, in fact, all the galaxies. Manifested of sun, various sources of existence, such as delusion, heat, energy, light, various forms of radiation, vidyut, lightning, fire, electrical activity within the human body and other biological entities, neurobiological activities, various forms of energy, chemical, digestive fiber, electromagnetism inside the and vehicle of communication. All modern technology and development is based on the communication. And this is done through electromagnetic signals. What a wonder. In fact, I don't have a detailed analysis here. I'm giving you the gist of what I had presented, another paper, another such talks on Agni Deva itself with all the dimensions. There I also noted down and talked about different references scattered throughout the Vedas. Adhyatmic Sarup within the body, speech, visual, central brain. Adidevic, Sukshma, hidden, unmanifest. Speed of light is per hour kilometers. What a wonderful yogic union of Adhyatmic, Adibhautik Kshetra in the mantra endorsed by Agnideva. Here I am not going to Yagna. Agni pervades all the Shastras. And here, if you look at the Yajurveda 1779, you will have all this. You can relook at on the class website again. But this also gives us the matrix multiplication in this mantra. Matrix is a numerical and analytical method in contemporary mathematics. And this says, if you write down in a mathematical form, this will give you the matrix multiplication, how to do the multiplication of matrices. What a wonder. What a wonder. Contemporary scientific understanding of sun electromagnetic field. There are 7 regions. Common regions are radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays. Only through such radiation, the multidimensional structure properties of material and cosmological world have been under investigation for a long time. All these waves or the dharmas of Agni, attributes of Agni, qualities of Agni, all these kind of radiation that you can see here, I have all combined together. I have given rise to a new Sabd, Bikiran Brahman. This Bikiran Brahman is a Adi Bhautik Agni Brahman. Without this Bikiran Brahman, we could not have any communication with the rest of the world. We could not have understood the world around us, the cosmos around us. We could not have communicated long distances from within us. And why it is the word? Word say means flight. Fire altar, that is in fact mind that carried gifts from human world to the gods of heaven. Again, word say means a flight. It means a dynamic quality of the Agni Deva. All radiations have dynamic quality. They go from one place to another. They travel very, very fast speed. Some of these stars are probably hundreds of millions of years, light years away. Light takes from sun to come to earth about 8 minutes or so. So this is the dynamic quality. Offering means to reach, stretch, and the very fact reach reality by means of performing the act by which reality is. What the reality is, how to reach reality, how to recognize reality, it only through performing act like yagna. Here, karma yoga, karma kand, jnana kand, upasana kand come together in the yagna. They are joined together. There's a yogic integration. Or yagna is the source of birth of all these fields. The whole of one's physical, mental, bodhic, dharmic life is to be called inner Agnihotra. External sacrifice rite, the ritual pattern, his wife and priest and soma vows, they are various parts of individual person's physical and mental well-being. So this itself, the human body itself is a Vedi, itself is the ground for the yagna, and it is yagna. Of a truth, man is born 3 times over in the following way. First, he is born from his mother and father. He is born a second time while performing the yagna, that becomes his share. He is born 3rd time when he dies and they place him on the pyre and he proceeds to new existence. Therefore, they say man is born 3 times. This is a rebirth phenomena. Man is born 3 times. Right. So what in this body is going on? Perform the sacrifice in the body, perform the sacrifice post. What is sacrificer? Self is the sacrificer. Who is his wife? Intelligence is wife. Who are the priests? Vedas are the priest. Who watches over everything? The Ahankar is the under priest and mind is the head priest. So within this analogy and with this understanding, homology from actually performing yajna, how the body can be considered to be the Vedi, yajna Vedi, altar. The body is the main altar. The nose is the northern altar. The skull is the bowl. And please note, human body is yajna. Look at the unified viewpoint from external entity to internal entity. How can you perform yajna and comprehend it if you look at the mysteries and comprehend his mystery, if your body itself is not a yajna? They must be in harmony, structured together. Concluding thoughts. Yajna represented by Agni, the center of social life in Rig Veda, and essential the prosperity of the society for all, good for all. Agni is the center of creative process of Rig Vedic society. Poets, patrons, and priest families. Yajna is the Brahman, human being is Yajna. Play of universal drama, ritual or dramatic image, origin and source of Natsas. So I'm trying to identify also the sources of Natsas, Sangeet Sas, Kavya Sas, all kinds of Sastras. Within these hymns, within this first action, first real act of yajna. It's a play of universal drama. Ritual is a dramatic image with its origin and source of Natsas. Yajna is the weaving of universal fabric. WWW. Actually, the most unified, most recurring image is the fabric. Of the visible universe. Yajna is a weaving of a universal fabric. This ritual helps to reintegrate the broken world of chaotic multiplicity of existence to reform the cosmos. So there has been, to begin with, in the Srishti, the process involved is such that you get chaotic multiplicity, plurality, diversity. They appear to be non-connected, no single source. And the yajna practically on the ground, involving all these players together, reconstruct, reintegrate the cosmos, the broken world. So we can see, we can experience directly what is going on on the stage. What is going on the stage? What is going on the altar? This is the beauty. Yajna is the universe in miniature. So concretely, we have looked at and we have constructed a Vedi through which we can look at the cosmos. It's a miniature of the cosmos. My dear. Now, I think I will stop over here and with your permission, because these classes are going to be 1 hour each, but 10-15 minutes after the hour question answer. And let's do this combined prayer jointly. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejastu Navadhitamastu Ma Vidyusavahai Om Santi 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 Hari Om.
Thank you, Professor. If anybody has any questions, they can ask Professor now.
Please accept my apology for any offenses I may have committed, knowingly or unknowingly. And also, we are looking forward to your blessings. I am also a singer. You all are singers. So keep singing the glory of Sanatan Dharma within yourself and out of yourself. And this Sanatan Dharma, you might be having a question in your mind that this Sanatan Dharma, where is the Dharma come from? We will dwell upon later on, because a lot of practices in the contemporary human understanding, and especially in India, they have been creeped in due to what you call law of adharma. So I think there are hands raised and there are questions.
Sunilji, please ask your question.
Jai Shri Ram and Namaskar to everybody.
Jai Shri Ram.
But what is the purpose? I do not understand the purpose. What are we doing? What are we trying to do?
Purpose of what? This talk or purpose of doing it now?
Yeah, purpose of what we are doing.
Purpose of this talk.
About this talk, yeah.
Yeah. Purpose of this course is to have audience learn and embody the wisdom of rishis. As a result, if you keep learning, eventually you will have a different perspective on yourself and the world around. Your vision will have extra dimensions through which you can look within yourself and world around. Your family relationship, those will come later on, all individual relationship, individual dharmas, contradiction, conflict. So this is the giving you, laying out the Vedic wisdom starting from Rig Veda all the way down to the contemporary human experiences. Another question. And I think that's what, most people are looking for, how to live, which I have listed down actually a lot, how to live a beautiful, wonderful, meaningful life, joyful life, amidst the adversities. So this whole course is designed to address those questions and give us some kind of a understanding and some kind of a concluding thoughts. If those can be embodied within ourselves, will give us a new sense of living, new sense of acting, new sense of thinking around, and a joyful celebration of life. Not running away from life, but joyful celebration of life. Thank you so much to all of you. If you have no further question, we can and again next time. The next lecture is going to be October 7th. Is that right?
Yes, Professor.
October 7th at the same time, with the same password, with the same Zoom ID.
I think there are 2 people who have raised their hands now.
Okay.
Can you go ahead with your questions, Aparna?
I think
Dr. Sabarish?
She needs to unmute, I think.
Yeah. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, you go ahead, then I'll.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Hari Om, sir.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
And I was very eagerly listening to your today's lecture, and I would like to I could correlate about how you had compared the universe and the miniature version, that is a human body, with that of the yajna, wherein the Agni, which is an integral part of the Panchamahabhutas, is through the generation of heat and other aspects of Agni, it has created the universe and a human body. Sir, and how in the Rig Veda, through beautiful poems and through verses, it has been represented. And it was a new learning, in fact, for today. And so I wanted to, because I had gone through the and I had gone through the comments in the Google Classrooms, and I have not read the documents and all, but I wanted to know if you could tell me very briefly that this title, could you please give an introduction about the Lokasamgraha Yogadharma, how it is, what it is about. If you could give a brief so that, I would like to read more about it in the coming 2 weeks, so that when I come for the next classes, I would definitely be in a better position to correlate in a broader manner and in a very dynamic manner. If you could give some reading material references to read, go ahead. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It's a great question, and very, very enlightening question. And the first answer in a brief is going to be, I have covered each word, Loka, Sangraha, Yoga, and Dharma, in the very first course. But let me give you the understanding here, brief understanding. Why these important? Whenever, let's look at the making food. Let's look at the making food. Basic requirement for life. So when we make the food in the home, we need ingredients and we need the process. End result is making a recipe, food. This process, what different ingredients are going to be? If this knowledge, this is called Jnana Kshetra. And how to really prepare the food based on these ingredients, this becomes Karma Kshetra. So now Karma Kshetra depends also on Jnana Kshetra. Okay, we have what we call the Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga coming together to achieve the final goal, which is, I will come back. So the next step is, yes, we have prepared the food. What is this food for? Food for use for the very existence of this human body. So we have to eat the food. Okay, so we have to eat the food, and this eating the food is the yogic process, because food has to be joined with the inner world. External food has to be joined inner world. That's the yogic process. Now, how it becomes Lokasamgraha? In the next week I'm going to discuss about 5 yagnas that human beings have to perform. And one of the yagnas says, this food you eating, if you are eating by yourself without distributing out to the other jivatmas around, this is what we call the papa karma. It means that's not the enlightened form of eating. So this distribution out to others, this becomes Lokasamgraha. So this whole thing becomes Lokasamgraha Yogadharma. Dharma is what? Dharma. Dharma means dharan karna. Once we have an entity, for example, food you have prepared, the recipe you have prepared, entity. And this entity itself, what are the properties of this entity? What are the characteristics? What the shape? So there are 5, 6 what you call qualifiers or determinants of the entity. And these are called the dharmas. Nam, Roop, Guna, Bikar, Kalat. Nam, Roop, Guna, Karma, Bikar, and Samay. These are the primary attributes of a entity called combined. They are called the dharma. It's called dharma kshetra. That's why there are so many entities combined together. We gave a new name, dharma. That's how the idea and concepts are developed. We form the body, form the concept together, and then give us a bigger concept. Even the very language term is the yogic union. Sanskrit language yogic union. Two words together, language union. You and I talking about this is the yoga process between bhakta and sruta. Now you are eating the food. Why do you want to eat the food? If the food is not going to the kind of food you are eating, if it is not going to help three things to achieve, it should be good in taste, it should quench the hunger, and third, it should be plastic, nutritious for the body, that can body grow and maintain. When you ask this question, why the food, the very existence, what kind of food, then you are asking another question and answer that, okay, I had to have such a food that I can live a long and happy life. There comes then what kind of food, then the division comes in, sattvic food, rajas food, tamas food. Then again divisions come in and qualifications will come in. What is sattvic food? What is rajas food? What is tamas food? So this is the line of, and another property will emerge. As soon as started tasting, rasbhav, as soon as we use the word tasting, why do you want to take food? Ras. Oh my goodness. So ras becomes the unifying word and force behind it. All kinds of ras. Ras through all the indriyas, through ears, through the eyes. We want to see the beauty, and that gives me ras of eyes. Want to hear this beautiful word. That's the ras through the what you call the ears. We want to have a beautiful idea, sitting down, your ideas, enjoy the wonder and beauty. Oh, this is the ras through your cognitive structure. And we want to love somebody. This is ras through heart. So then ras becomes manifesting in these different domains. Raso vaisa. So what the Brahma becomes then, with reference to ras, then Brahma becomes raso saha Brahma. Rasau vai sah. Brahma hi rasa hai, rasa hi Brahma hai. They immediately go back to the original source, that how the original source give us these branches and these different aspects and perspective on the rasa. So actually, if you are simply, I've taken this and I can enlarge this. I can enlarge it and I can really bring together this food, entity food, I can bring together, talking about the all kinds of shastras, unifying in a yogic framework. When, for example, if I'm talking about the ras shastra, where the ras, these are the rases, if you look at the shastra, Kavya shastra, you have rases. Where did they come from? They come from within the body. It becomes ras shastra. What I am listening, what I'm talking, that gave rise to Kavya shastra, Sangeet shastra. So the human body itself, if you think carefully and with the proper understanding of what the thinking means, you'll find out the jo anda mein hai, wo brahmand mein hai. Whatever is within me, it is all around the world. That is what it means to be. This is in brief. I gave you different Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and the Lokasamgraha Yogadharma Yoga. Kshetra is a concept where multiplicity is a dynamic field, just like audio field, electromagnetic field, mental field, neurological field, chemical field. It means the kshetra, the field through which different entities, this is a dynamic field, through which different entities get work together. And most of these fields are invisible fields. Does it make sense to you, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is the brief, but we will, as we go along, please keep asking questions. Also, you can ask questions through our course website, please. Any other question? I can take few more minutes.
Yeah, Aparna.
Hello, Aparna ji. Some more hands?
Dr. Sabrish ji, you can ask any question.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the explanation. Sir, I was trying to today morning when I was reading and looking into the poster. So I found a shloka from the Bhagavad Gita. It says, Lokasamgraha Yogadharma Samasyan Kartum Manasi. So I try to go through the Gita and I try to go through the explanations. So it talks about the dharma of Sita, dharma of Draupadi. It also talks about the great, other great personalities from the Mahabharata, Ramayana.
Yeah.
So I could not, and based on listening to your talk today, I could not correlate what exactly you wanted to mean by that particular shloka in the poster. So if you could correlate that, then I would also, it will help be helpful in better understanding.
Yes, your talk was, your question was broken.
Shall I repeat it, sir?
Some pieces because it's not clear to me. I will.
Shall I repeat it?
Let me give you one statement. You have raised the very, very wonderful questions in the field of dharma. When we come in this course, we are going to talk about various dharmic kshetra and how these dharmas have to be looked at, and how these dharma also create adharmas, how they can be looked at, how they become personalized, how they become what you call global, and how they embody the contradictions and conflict and paradoxes, and how we can resolve those paradoxes. So I am detailed. We are going to, this course is going to talk about this, why practically what is dharma of, Paramita Draupadi. What happened to the Virat Yagna? What happened when the Virat Sabha, when Draupadi was dragged into the arena? What is the dharma of Rama at the time he asked Sita ji to go and reside in forest? What is this? A lot of ethical issues, a lot of dharmic issues that we had to deal with. And we had to look at those from fresh perspective. And I I will try my best to answer all those questions. In fact, when I discuss all these things, many of the questions will be answered through this discussion. So please hold on for future. Please keep attending every lecture and keep gathering your questions. And you place your question also on the website, and I will try to answer those questions. It's my journey. I will try to. Whatever I can comprehend through my yogic sadhana, I will try to share with you.
Thank you very much, sir. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Yes, Professor. I mean, no hands raised.
Then we say,
Yeah.
Then we say, Om Santi, 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 Hari Om. Thank you. Thank you, Sutiji. Thank you so much. You have been so helpful, so kind, and I need your blessing. Thank you, Sutiji. Thank you, everyone. And we will meet again if I'm still alive on October 7th.
Yes.
Thank you.